Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. So on today's video, I'm going to discuss with you a very interesting deep value buying opportunity. Now, just a very quick disclaimer, and please listen to this part carefully. This is a risky strategy. This is a risky stock. I'm not asking you to invest, just research about it. I'm personally investing in it, but that does not mean that you also need to invest in it because deep value buying opportunities usually are very volatile. I played a game once where I bought JP Power and it turned out to be a really good bet. I'm sitting on a profit of approximately 125% on the stock in a matter of 2-3 months. The opportunity that I'm going to discuss today, it might also be a great value buying opportunity, but these opportunities are very risky. So please do your due diligence, understand it, only then purchase, and at least please watch the video till the very end and understand all the aspects. So 4 things specifically about the video. Which stock am I going to speak about today? India Bulls Housing Finance. There you go. So people who want to drop off, please drop off. But I would request serious learners to watch this video till the very end and understand the other 3 key things that I'm going to speak about. Why is the stock beaten down? We need to understand that. Why the value buying opportunity now? What is it that I'm looking at when I'm making this value buy purchase? 4th and finally, how we should be taking positions in this stock. Before I get the analysis started, a very quick shout out to our sponsors for today, which is Cuckoo FM. I absolutely love their product. They are a knowledge enhancement platform where you can listen to audiobooks. Currently, I'm listening to a book called as How to Make Money with Breakout Trading. So I will link that in the description box. Go check it out. There is a very special offer that you can avail. So let me first and foremost help you understand what India Bulls Housing Finance does and take you through some important numbers. So India Bulls Housing Finance, as the name suggests, it's a housing finance company. It gives out loans to people so that they can finance their housing purchase. Now, there are some important things that I would like to draw your attention to. One, if you take a look at AUMs, which is asset under management, you will clearly see that they gave out corporate mortgage loans. So probably to buy commercial real estate, I would assume here. These might be residential, right? Residential. And these are business oriented loans, which makes a very small segment of the portfolio. So this is the lending part. For example, if the AUM of India Bulls Housing Finance is, let's say, hypothetically 1,000 crores, then this is the money that is getting deployed here in terms of different verticals. But how do they procure this money? This is a very important point that we need to understand, because in the past, India Bulls Housing Finance grew really fast, then it fell. Why? Because of the fact that they had a very high cost of procuring these funds. So let us quickly understand that where is it that they are procuring their loans from. So right now they are taking 31% as bank loans, right? There is bond market. So for example, India Bulls Housing Finance takes out bonds, right? And they do these corporate bonds, and you as an investor also can purchase these bonds. In fact, there has been a recent announcement made by their management where they have categorically said that we would like to move to a model where we will procure majority of the money through bond retail investing. So this is a very big market for them in order to procure loans. So essentially what is happening is that 1,000 crores, that's the AUM, hypothetically speaking, it procures these loans from all these different set of assets and then lend it out. And in the middle, they keep commission and make profits. Now, let me help you quickly understand why do I feel that there is a value buying opportunity. So first and foremost, you can take a look at this number, that the current market price is roughly 220 rupees and the book value of the company is 322. So definitely there is a lot of value left. Even if the stock moves back to its book value, there is approximately 33% gains to be made. Now let us quickly check the P&L statement of the firm, and there are a couple of things that I would like to point out. Number one, if you take a look at this range, right? So what you will see is that up until 2020, almost 2019, right, there was a consistent increase in revenues. And I'm not just saying just simple increase in revenues, literally like exponential, right? It has been doubling its revenues, which is very good, right? What about profits? The profits are also doing very well, right? It's not as if that there was some issue with the company per se till like 2018, 2019-ish. There was no major issue with the company itself. The company knew how to generate sales, how to generate profits, and it was doing fairly well. Now this got reflected into the stock price also. For example, if you take a look from here to here, there was a constant rise in share price, right? Then you'll say, Akshat, this looks like very scary, right? It fell from here to here. This entire blue block, it fell, right? Then it rose a little bit again. Then it fell again, right? This green block. Then it has been moving sideways and then it fell again, right? So it has been going up and down. So can you just help us decode why these things were happening? Okay. So here is a little bit of history around it. Why is it that India Bulls Housing Finance fell? So during this phase, this entire phase, there was ILNFS crisis, right? So this happened in roughly 2018, towards the end of 2018, 2019. And ILNFS was an NBFC which was loaning out a lot of money to companies like Indiabulls Housing Finance. There were a lot of accounting, debt-related problem with ILNFS. And as a result, all the housing finance company in India took a massive beating during this time. So the stock price fell from roughly 1400 rupees to roughly 250 rupees, right? So massive fall already happened during this leg. Now what happened was that then we moved on to the COVID crisis in 2020, and the worst performing sector during COVID was which? The housing sector, right? It was probably the worst performing sector, that the housing real estate financing, literally no one wanted to buy a house at that stage in time. It was impossible to go scout for a location to begin with. Financing was a major problem. People were unfortunately losing family members, jobs, and bunch of negative things were happening. So no one was buying house. And housing is a very cyclical type of a product. For example, in a downturn, the housing prices will just not grow for 6, 7, 8 years on a trot, right? Word of the day, trot. So let me know, what does that mean? So during this entire phase, it went down even further, right? Then what happened during mid 2020 to early 2021? That all the high debt companies were taking massive beating in the market. Again, I will show you that chart here. Here you can see that the cost of procuring capital for Indiabulls Housing Finance, they procure almost 41% of their funds through bond market. Now people were not willing to invest in the bond market. So as a result, companies like Indiabulls Housing Finance, their cost of capital became really, really high. They had no other option but to explore other alternate forms of raising funds. And as a result, their cost of funding became expensive. This was a major drawdown for a company like Indiabulls Housing Finance. Then the story just did not end there. There were issues around corporate governance. There were issues with the promoters of the firm. There were issues with how they are going to repay their debt. Then there was downgrading issue. So literally all the issues that were to happen happened here, right? That hey, poor governance, quality of assets, downgrading of the company, a bunch of different things happened with Indiabulls Housing Finance. And as a result, in my opinion, the stock has reached its bottom levels as of now, right? And therefore I'm saying that, hey, this is a value buying opportunity. Again, putting out a disclaimer that you don't need to go and invest. I'm investing. I've started taking a little bit of positions and I might ramp up my positions in this stock. I feel that this is a value buying opportunity, but you don't necessarily need to agree with me. Okay. Now comes the next section where I'm going to discuss why do I feel that the situation is improving and why is it that this particular stock might bounce back from this point on. Now, there are 3 reasons why I feel that the stock might bounce back. The first and foremost reason is that there is resurgence in real estate cycle. So this is a statement that was given in the management report and I completely agree with this, that real estate works as a cycle, that there will be a downtrend for 6-7 years, then there will be an uptrend for 6-7 years and the cycle repeats. And this is true for almost any commodity cycle. This also applies somewhat to real estate. Now, last 7-8 years have been really bad for real estate sector in India. There has been a bunch of regulatory and debt-ridden challenges with the real estate industry. And there has been a massive downturn, no doubt about that. So real estate has taken significant beating. Now, hopefully, with the industrial demand coming up and the real estate sector bouncing back, I feel that real estate is nicely poised to make a comeback. Now comes the second thing, that the management cleanup has already started. For example, you will see that promoters offload 11.76% stake in Indiabulls Housing Finance. And this news is from December 16th. Now, I'm not a very news-oriented person, but this is a very important piece of news, so I'm highlighting. So you'll see that Sameer Gehlot has sold 11.76% equity. And now you'll get scared that, 11.6% equity sold, promoters are this, that. No, you have to understand the reason why. Because there was a lot of pressure in terms of doing a cleanup of the management. This is a privately held organization, and in order to raise money, equity selling happens. No problem there. Second, in order for professional management to come in and do cleanup, sometimes promoters have to sell their equity. It's not sold out of malintent. It is simply sold out because of the fact that you need to give other people equity so that they can come in and help you manage the company. So that is the intent with which this equity is given. That is my understanding. Now, take a look at that. Okay, Sameer Gehlot sold this equity and who bought it? That's the most important part. So this equity has been bought by Morgan Stanley and Abu Dhabi Investment Authority, which has taken significant positions in Indiabulls Housing Finance. Now, interestingly, Morgan Stanley, before buying a stake in Indiabulls Housing Finance, they actually downgraded the rating for Indiabulls Housing Finance. So yes, promoters have been forced to cut their holding, but this holding has been purchased by good people, right? Now also, let us quickly scan through the promoter holding also. So this data is till September 2021. No change in promoter holding. Now the promoter holding has been cut and it will go to FIIs, DIIs here. So the holding is still in strong hands. It's not as if that holding has been given to some random people. Now comes the most important reason in my opinion as to why this stock is likely to bounce back. If you actually check how are they behaving and what signals the company is giving, you can check that from their cash flow statements, right? So you will see that operating activity has turned positive. This is not a problem. Take a look at financing activity. So you will see negative. Yes, this is negative. But what is the money being spent on? Now, this is being spent in terms of reducing the debt. Now, this is absolutely not bad. This is a good sign. If the company is repaying its debt aggressively, it is a good sign. So the intent with which the company is operating now, that they're trying to bring professional management, they're trying to reduce the debt. These are all good signs for the company. And addendum here is that, see, whatever wrong could have gone with the company, in my opinion, it has already gone wrong with the company. Of course, the stock price can fall. I'm not saying no to that, but a lot of beating has already happened for this stock and there seems to be no legitimate reason as to why this stock will be further beaten down. That is my understanding. And of course, yes, the stock can still go down by 15-20%, who knows? And that is precisely the reason why there is a method. And therefore, what I'm doing in terms of purchasing this stock is fairly simple, that I've started to take small positions in this stock. So I'm trying to do an SIP into this stock. So what I've done is that I've invested the first 10% of the money that I want to invest in this stock now. Now I'll wait. I'll monitor the performance, track the fundamentals. Then subsequently over the next few weeks or next few months, I will keep on buying more and more slots in this particular stock. So I'm not going to do bulk investing in this stock. Absolutely not. Just little positions. And if it goes up, great. It proves that my theory is right. I'll buy more then. If it goes down, then I will monitor the performance again and I will recalibrate. So this is a sensible way of buying a deep value stock. This is what I'm doing. Please do your due diligence. And again, this is not an investment advice. And also check the links in the description box for Cuckoo FM. Learn technical indicators, technical parameters. I will teach more about that in the subsequent sessions. And like this video, that will help out a lot. Thank you so much and I will see you tomorrow.